right, guys. That we have one last email of the day to cover, and that email comes to us from Carrie, who lives in Harrisburg. How you doing, Carrie? Carrie says, "Hey, Mike. On yesterday's show, you alluded that today's Dune trailer would be a teaser, but what Warner Brothers dropped today, Warner Brothers, sorry, we're just talking about it. But what Warner Brothers dropped today looks more like a full trailer. Did I miss something? Thanks so much for the email, Carrie. And no, you did not miss anything. In fact, usually when a film studio puts a first look or a first trailer out, it's usually like a small tidbit. It's like a minute, minute 30, maybe even 2 minutes. And in the biz, these types of trailers are referred to as a teaser trailer, or sometimes an announcement trailer, right? They don't give you full ideas as to who the characters are, what the story is going to be, or what you should expect from this film. But the trailer they dropped this morning, today, oh yeah, it's a full-blown first trailer, first look. We know kind of general ideas to what the story is. We know who the characters are. Like, all the big names have been featured in this trailer. It looks pretty cool. Cordy, did you have a chance to check out the trailer? And if you did, what are your thoughts of it?
It looks really lush. God, I grew up with like the old school Dune film, which has many, many flaws, but it's definitely visually striking. Yeah. I'm definitely going to watch it for comparison. And don't mind seeing more updated take on Leto Atreides. He's rather hot, isn't he? Rather chummy. I'm looking forward to that film. I am. And it's for our current times. I feel like it's just a bizarre, the book series is quite bizarre, but it's very political, and I really want to see how they sort of treat that in the 2020 hellscape. Be really, really interesting.
Yeah, just so everybody has an understanding as to where I'm coming from, I've never read the book. I've never seen the movie, and I never saw the 2001 miniseries that they put out on as a miniseries. So I have no skin in the game. I'm not familiar. I know of the property of Dune. I know that it exists. I have a basic understanding of kind of what the story is or the theme. Until I saw the trailer this morning, my feeling of Dune was, I'm interested in it because of Denis Villeneuve. He's one of my favorite filmmakers in the business right now. I think his cinematography is breathtaking. He's a master storyteller. He knows how to take his time and tell a really good story. And I was looking forward to it from that perspective and that perspective only. I'm not one for whom sci-fi, I mean, like, you look around at my toy collection, you would think, of course, Mike's into sci-fi. Sci-fi, it's okay. Sci-fi is not one of those genres that I particularly seek out and enjoy. But then I saw this trailer. This trailer looks to me like a mashup of, Star Wars and Game of Thrones. Do you think that's fair to say, Cordy? Like, Star Wars and Game of Thrones as a mashup?
There are certain grimdark properties of the Dune universe that seem to resonate. And yeah, it's definitely, the books have always been quite political, and the films have always had like a pretty hot take. Yeah. And then there's like the whole question, there's this like lurking film that never was, which is the Jodorowsky Dune, but for which there are Jean Giraud's amazing sketches, and that always like lurks behind everything, like this spectre that's impossible to actually match because it never got made into a film. It was probably going to be incredibly abstract and trippy as a film. So I don't know. I don't want to speculate about what might have been there, but like there's this whole bizarre artistic canon. I mean, then there's the video game series, which I played as a wee thing. So yeah, there's this massive kind of cultural consciousness behind like the Dune franchise, but it's maybe a little niche. I don't know.
Yeah.
So hard to satisfy the fan base, but I for myself am definitely here for this.
Yeah, this looks really cool. You always kind of, I don't want to say you always know what to expect with Denis Villeneuve, but I mean, you have this idea of like, oh, it's going to have this feeling, this tone. Like if you look at Arrival, look at Sicario, look at Blade Runner 2049, there's this kind of like similar theme in tone of how of kind of what to expect, right? And that
Yeah, there's like an aesthetic, and it has to
yeah,
have the
yeah.
story is it's about those visual kind of beats and the bizarre alien imagery. So having like an
Well,
aesthetic is
also on
good.
Twitter, before this trailer dropped, 15 minutes before they dropped the trailer, Stephen Colbert on Twitter held a Q&A with the cast and director Denis Villeneuve. And one of the things that they were talking about is it was so imperative for Denis Villeneuve not to film anything on green screen. Timothy Chalamet came out and said that there were only 2 scenes that he filmed on green screen. Everything else is live action. Everything else is for real. They're real locations. And Denis Villeneuve's explanation for that was they didn't film Jaws in a bathtub. So why would you, right? Yeah. So if you don't film Jaws in a bathtub, why would you film this on set in front of a green screen? This kind of movie needs that scope. It needs that feel. It needs to feel grounded and real, and it needs to feel important. And by putting this in real locations and filming in real locations, it feels important, and it informs the actors of a completely different experience than we would get on set at a green screen or on the back lot. That I was extremely impressed with, and yeah, just this trailer alone, it looks fantastic. And it bumped my level of excitement up. I think a few days ago, I ranked the Dune as like my number 7th. I think it was my 7th most anticipated film still coming out this year. It just got bumped up. It might actually get bumped up to my number 3. It looks so good. Final thoughts from Cordy on Dune.
Oh gosh. No, it is good, and I think it will be. It's timely. I think it's good to see. I mean, it's an old franchise, but it's good to see it come out in this revitalized form. Usually, I'm not a massive fan of like retellings because I tend to want to see original stories or leave time for original stories.
Mm,
But I think in this case, enough time has elapsed on the
sure.
franchise that this might actually be its own beast, which would be good. I would like to see it stand as its own story. Totally agree on the visuals. Yeah, and it would hopefully should distinguish itself from some of the Lucas style ephemeral,
Agreed.
filming techniques
Agreed.
by being in reality. It needs to be in reality because, yeah, the storyline's pretty unreal. Now, what I'd like to see is in a movie. I'd like to see the Stone Dance of the Chameleon book trilogy turned into a movie because that would be just absolutely wild.
I'm completely unfamiliar.
Oh, mate, it's good. It's good times. It's like Aztec dinosaur apocalypse. Very, very
Well,
good.
you had me at
Very entertaining books. Very
dinosaur.
brutal.
You had me at dinosaur.
Yeah, yeah, you'd love it.
Question is, guys, did you see the new Dune trailer? Were you able to see the interview with Stephen Colbert leading up to the trailer? It's all on Twitter. Go on, check it out. If you did, jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for this movie? Does it look incredible? Or are you kind of like, could be better? I want to know. Jump down to the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With